Right. Let's make sure everything's coming through first. Right, yeah, it's coming through. Yeah, it's coming through. Good. Right. Yeah. So, I really need to turn that down. That is surprisingly loud for me. That'll do. Yeah. So, yeah, getting into doing these midweek streams. I got because the ones that are always going to be in the midweek are always going to be short ones because I have work tomorrow morning and I'm up at 4 a.m. So can only stream for so long. I can stream for a couple of hours, literally maximum 2. So best to get things done quickly. So yes, what have I actually done? I haven't really changed that much. Made this area slightly fancy. It's just copper and wood, and that's it. Otherwise, it's just dug out more in areas. There's just digging and all that. And oh yeah, dug all the way through to the science area because here is where I'm going to put the cloches. So that's something to do. But the first thing I'm going to do before that is I have been to the moon, and I have ventured far and distant. Why am I going that way? There's a quicker way of doing it. I have ventured far, reasonably, on the moon stuff to try and find dungeons, because the next stage for the space exploration is to get advancements. I use this as my armory place just to. I'll take both of those, thank you. Yeah. So, yeah. So the next stage for the space exploration is basically there's 2 objectives I want to get done as the next part of the jobs to do. The first one is to kill more bosses so we can get the space tech blueprints, because we still need to get that that tier 2 rocket so we can get ourselves to Mars. And the other thing I want to do for tech-wise thing is to expand that immersive engineering thing, because I have found out in the grand stratagem of combining mods and then breaking everything, the railgun is, in combination with both mechanism and industrial craft, is broken to an extent anyway, because I can go from rubberwood to charcoal to crushed carbon to coal to coke dust, graphite, forged graphite, and then I can get myself some graphite beams which I can fire from the railgun. It's a rather long-winded way, but I can go from wood to the powerfulest thing I can put in the railgun. It is a very long-winded process, and it is arduous as hell. But with industrial craft, with the rubberwood trees and the sawmill, I can multiply up that by a 2.25, I think. I can times it up by 2.25. So I can get an extra 1.5 for what I put in. So basically, for a stack of basically it's a long-winded process that's going to take fucking forever to do, but I'm going to do that eventually. But the best thing to do really first is to do the cloches, because in doing the cloches, I can grow wheat, which will give me either stuff for plastic, food for me, food for the animals, stuff I can stick into the crusher for plastics, or stuff I can compress down into industrial diamonds. And if I can grow wood, great. because that will break everything even more. So, yeah. I shall bend the Minecraft scientific logic over everything and destroy it. Also, I've been building the base. A lot of this is just tin block and tin decorations. All this is tin. It's 4 stone plus a plate tin, so it's really not that fancy. So it's all just tin, and that's just plastic. So, yeah. So I moved that up here. Basically, I'm moving everything up here. So this is going to be one floor. Then down here is going to be another floor. So the portal is eventually going to get moved up. And then all that is probably going to get shifted up. Or put 1 block higher. Put it into like a 2 block higher room. So I can make it more. And so when I get to Mars and start getting ourselves some dash, I can actually do seals, airlocks. So no more need for bubble, but I'm going to need more oxygen and more power. So that's going to be one thing I'm going to need to do. But at least I have a structure to build stuff on. Now, I have been venturing out into... I'll close the door first. I have been venturing out into the world. Let's go into the air bubbles. I'm not using too much oxygen. Venturing out into the world, and I have... That one? That one? No. That one? Why are you being stupid? Or is it just because it's... Or is it just because it's... Oh, is it because it's classified as night? The change timescale of the planets really does screw with everything. But yes, I have been... No, zoom out. I have ventured a lot of places, and I have found a lot of villages. I found a lot of villages, but I've also managed to find some dungeons as well. So that is what we're going to do today, or do first, is to clear those out. Start killing some elder creatures. And then we can actually start getting places. There wasn't anything there, was there? No, I just never deleted that one. So that can get removed. Yeah, the main thing I wanted to do for the midweek ones is just so I can get, because these ones I'm ending at 10. No matter what happens, this thing is getting turned off at 10 because I'm up at 4 in the morning. Because the midweek ones are always going to be only 1 or 2 hours long. Because I got work in the morning and there's no way of getting around that. But there's only stuff to really... there's lots of little tasks to do. The first task we'll do at the moment is to clear the dungeons. I have explored a lot, and there are villages everywhere. It's some of them rather extreme, but I have found a few. I found more villages than I found dungeons, so it's all of those village lists. But I have some dungeons. Oh, my shift starts at 6, so I'm up at 4, out of the house at 5. And then I'm at work and usually at work about 5:30, depending on if the buses are running. So, but yeah, my shift starts at 6. I'm out at 2, which is always a slight advantage thing. But I'd always basically say my streaming time starts at 8 o'clock and goes on until like midnight or whatever. So, because 8 o'clock for me is always the best time to start streaming. So it means that midweek, only 2 hours, but still plenty of stuff to do. Because if the last time is any indication, this should be over fairly quickly. I think the biggest problem I'm going to have is power, hydrogen, and oxygen. It's basically the amount of stuff I can have, because some of these are far. There's one there. That's the one we did last time. And there's one here, one way over here, a cluster of them over here, one there, and then one up there. Oh, I didn't turn off that village one. Did I turn off? I should have turned that village one off. Did I not turn that one off? Oh no, there it is. Just off, please. No distractions. Because there are villages everywhere. Right, yeah, so there's 1,000 blocks away, 600. That's one from last time. 600. 300 and 900. So going for those ones could be best. Although that one is middle of nowhere. And it's also 1,000 away. So, although that one's 600 away. One thing I should have got was tin food. I should have got tin food. Well, either way, I have. It feels really loud to me, all that. If it's coming through too loud. Oh yeah, okay. Well, that kind of stuff I do. I still got the Adobe. I still got the Photoshop in Premiere, so I can still do that stuff. Let's go for those ones. It's more of a cluster, and all I need is the tier 2. And if I can find the buggy, great. Then that makes all of this a lot easier. Well, yeah. Meteors have been flying everywhere, so I'm getting meteoric iron as well. Yes. So yeah, so the current task for today is to see if I can find those tier 2s. Because if I can find those tier 2s, or at least if I can find the buggy. Because if I can find the buggy, great. Then I can get the buggy and I can drive a lot easier. I could disappear into the far-flung areas with much more expedience. Oh, hello. Well, that meteor has just fallen. And it goes... Tss. It's hot. Because this one is red. Although... It doesn't give you anything else. It just means you can't touch it. At least this one is actually... This one of the mods is actually rather well thought out. Is that one just fall? Yep. Yeah, that is just falling. It's always going to be good to get at least a little bit of the meteoric iron, because I'm going to need that for the... Oh yeah, I never actually thought about trying that as well. Yeah. Still works. It still works. It's a hydrogen flamethrower, so I would assume it works. Even in a yeah, I never actually thought that. Yeah. Yeah. Although the next step that I have, because I did some looking into the mods and some of the other small tasks for me to do, one of them is to get a lot of the immersive craft stuff done, because a lot of that can be broken as hell. because getting the cloches is always going to be a good thing, because I can use the cloches to grow wheat. The wheat I can use to feed myself, as well as the animals, as well as crush it down to make biomass for the plastics, or I can compress it into the industrial diamonds. So at least that gives me something. But there's also the railgun. It's basically immersive craft, the railgun. That combined with industrial craft and combined with galactic craft means I can have renewable graphite bolts, which are the most powerful thing you can stick in the railgun. So gardening sounds like a good path. Yeah, it's basically getting biomatter is going to be a good thing, and the one thing I realised I don't have is the bloody glowstone torches. I left that. Right, at least I don't mind about burning stamina. I'll just turn the jetpack off. Don't mind burning stamina, because I can't eat human like earth food in a zero oxygen environment. I have to use canned, but canned is terrible for saturation. Although I can use anything. I can use like anything, any of the edible things I can stick into a can, and it's perfectly fine. It's like I can make rotten flesh just fine to eat. Same as spider eyes. It's rather impressive. But yeah, the gardening stuff, so cloches are always going to be a good option to have. And because I already have a water pipe system and extended the electrical system to the underneath, yeah, I've built this as well to the underneath, then I have plenty. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so I have... Did I use them all? Shit. God, you can count the frames for how long that jetpack enabled thing was. Fucking hell. Oh God, you can count the frames for that when that jetpack enabled thing came on, because that is Jesus fucking Christ. All right. Oh yeah, I'm still doing that, aren't I? I entirely forgot about that, because I'm currently making a whole ton of charcoal. Oh yeah, because the whole thing about graphite bars to use in for to use the graphite bars for the rail. It's basically the rail guiding combination with character craft and with industrial craft is broken as all hell. Oh yeah, because I needed that. I needed glowstone, wasn't it? Yeah, because I can get jungle wood, put that through the sawmill, and get the rubber wood, put that through the sawmill to get 6 jungle, burn that through the coke furnace to get creosote, and to get the creosote, although I could just put it in the industrial thing, but if I put it through alright, and then basically get rubber wood, times that by 6 for jungle. It is on, isn't it? Yeah. times that by 6 for jungle. We'll put the jungle through a furnace. If I put it through the coke furnace, I can get creosote. And turns out the chemical thrower may actually have a... Don't you dare. Oh. Remains. Yeah, the chemical thrower actually has an ignition system. So I can just use that as a flamethrower. And as creosote can go into the chemical thrower, I might be able to go around with 2 flamethrowers. One, the mechanism hydrogen flamethrower, and a creosote flamethrower. Because then I can put the charcoal, so I can get the charcoal, cross the charcoal down into carbon fragments, compress the carbon fragments down through the Galactocraft compressor to make coal, put the coal back through the coke furnace to make coal coke, getting more creosote to make coal coke, and then I crush that, and then I squeeze that, and then I forge that, and then I can make those forge blocks into graphite bars, and then those bars are the powerfulest ammunition the railgun can have. 14 damage per shot, and I can put a scope on it. So yeah, well, the thing is, creosote only really has. The thing is, that's if creosote gets ignited, because it has the flammable quality. But the flammable thing is something that's added by Immersive Craft, and flammable only means takes more damage to fire rather than ignites. Because there's the causes flame thing, which it causes thing to ignite. With stuff like blaze involved stuff, ignites things. But creosote doesn't. It just counts as flammable, so it does increased damage to flame rather than. It's a damage multiplier for flame damage, rather than causes flame. But if it does ignite through the chemical thrower, having some creosote would actually be quite all right, because then I don't have to bother with hydrogen anymore, and then I can just only really bother with the hydrogen for the plastics. And even then, I don't really need that much plastics. Alright, let's get back to what we were doing. Now we can actually venture without much due worry and concern of being blind in the dark. Yeah, there's quite a few plans that I have to basically break the difficulty fairly well. The only hard things to get are the stuff that's going to be on the other planets. Namely Dash. Dash is a big part of doing stuff like airlock systems and things like that, but I can only find that on Mars. It's very rare as an ore, or most of the time you'll find it through dungeons. So that is going to be stuff like that is going to be the annoyance. Although one other thing that seems to have broken everything is that some of the Ender IO stuff requires dimensional shards. And that requires you can make it with glass, but it takes glass and lapis and prismarine shards and all that, or I can just find them in the Nether, and I have a jetpack. I've already found dimensional shards before, so I can just go to the Nether and look for them. Yeah, so right. I heard that. No spawners. What's in here? Ooh, potatoes, apples, melons. Ooh, oil canister, some iron, golden apple. Ooh. I hear you now. There you are. Oh, I can't burn that. I'll worry about. I'll worry about clearing out everything else later on, like I do usually. Hello. God, there's a lot. This is fairly big, and it's rather concerning. Yeah. But the thing is, even then, to get to because you need prismarine shards to make the dimensional fragments, and you can only get the prismarine shards from around only from ocean temples, from ocean monuments, and those ocean monuments really are the best way to fight those things is with water breathing potions, which means you need to have blaze rods. So it's one of those things where it's like it's the easiest route. Even going the long way requires potions. So you're gonna be in the Nether anyway. So it kind of makes more sense to just do it that way. God, what is this me? Is this place huge? Right, hello fellas. I have no idea how effective this flamethrower is going to be, but what I do know is that it has a lot of ammunition. So even though this mining laser doesn't have that much ammunition, and on top of that, I know that the diamond sword is exceedingly powerful, as we found out last time. This should be easy peasy. Evolved spider, evolved creeper. So this should be easy McPeasy. Oh, I almost made a very bad mistake. I'm not carrying fucking armor, am I? God, I've got to go back again. Jesus, I almost made a terrible error. It's like, I'm going to go in here and fight it with half armor. With half of one block of armor. When, under normal circumstances, I go in there with like 30. Oops! That was almost an exceedingly grievous error. Basically, we chance I have to recharge the weaponry as well. Where's home? Home. So many things I bloody forgot. Forgot the glowstone torches. I had to go back to get the glowstone torches. And it turns out I forgot all of my armor. It's manly mode, or I get killed in 2 hits. And considering it's a ranged enemy that fires extremely quickly, it's basically I walk in the room, fire off like 3 shots, and then die. Yeah. Although at this point it's one of those rather annoying things where it's like, oh yeah, I'll just go get my armor, which makes me monstrously overpowered. Because I could just go in with armor and then he literally can't hurt me. What have I got? 1 for evolved zombie, 4 for evolved spiders, 1 for creepers. I could start setting up just mob farms. Alright, if I stick a lot of this stuff. I heard you. If you don't be quiet, I will find you and I will kill you. Okay, you refuse to be quiet. I'm going to kill you. Where are you? Well, that solved that problem. Right. There's that. We can top off. Actually, no. I don't actually have that, do I? Oh, yeah, because I filled up with this, didn't I? Yeah. Right, so don't point of doing that. Ah, yes. Laser. Charger me laser. Almost bloody forgot it again. Where did I put it? I'll have all of that. No. Charged. 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 Oh, that's only half. That's only half cocked as well. I charged my battery belt as well while I have the opportunity. Get that charged. Yeah. Alright, back down we go. Now I actually have everything. I'm now kind of hoping we actually get the buggy, because that would actually be quite good to actually just get the buggy, because then I can actually start driving to these things and start driving further. There's also one thing I'm probably going to do also as well with industrial craft, not with immersive engineering, is to make the biodiesel generator. For one of the things I built in for the main vanilla world is basically an engine. It's basically a giant engine generator you would find like a dam or something like that. And I wanted to build that eventually because it requires a lot of iron. In the vanilla Omniworld thing, oh look, it's a transference of technology. Ooh, plot lore. And so doing that would make that easier. Also, another thing I'm planning to do as well soon enough is to make a giant power plant and actually wire that into basically I want to make a grid, an actual power grid with an actual power station that's got water wheels from immersive and solar panels and wind turbines, so it makes a ludicrous amount of power that can power basically everything. while everything has their own localized power systems. So I'm making a lot more wind turbines, a lot more solar panels, as well as having a water wheel and kinetic dynamo system from Immersive in there as well as the actual turbines. So basically, there's a lot of stuff to actually do. Right. I go from having 1 armor to 3, 9, 16, no, 17, 20. With 20 plus 2 with 8 toughness. After having 1 armor. I go from having 1 armor to 20 and 8 toughness. Come on, big fella. And I just realised you're not that one. Now. Come on, throw me higher. Throw me higher, you baby. Throw me higher, you baby. Alright, fine. Alright. Okay, turns out height is his enemy. It's... Not only is height his enemy, shortness is his enemy as well. For a second there I was getting rather concerned, but after a while, just not. Alright, I'll do that so I can fly again. I'm far too used to just flying everywhere. Oh, that's where I came from. Right. Let's see what we get. First shot of today, anyway. Oosh. So, right, okay, Mars is now on the objectives. Projectile protection 2, so that'll make killing him easier. Although with Ender IO and EXP tanks, I can do maximum enchantments for anything. It's part of the reason why Ender IO has now suddenly caught my attention, because the enchantment tablets that they have means I can put in particular materials to get specific enchantments, namely mending, and blast protection, and infusion, which is one of the other ones added, which is natural empowerment. So, and considering all my armor is powered, yeah. Right, so I got myself some iron, some projectile protection, golden apples, some cheese, some space currency, and my tier 2. Have you got EXP tanks in the pack? Oh yeah, I have died with like 40 with at least 45 levels at least 3 or 4 times already. If I It's part of the reason why the EXP tanks are very much on my radar to do, but also I have a laser gun. I can get a lot of levels very quickly. Um, it's I can get to about 30 levels just by hunting for bones to make the industrial diamonds, because the field next to me is not lit on purpose, so I can kill a lot of crap. Yeah, because otherwise I would have stored up something like 150 levels or something like that if I knew about it. Oh yeah, I need to change this to full rather than explode. So this one, that one. Gains, loses the unexplored, and gains the full designation, because I haven't cleared it out yet. And now I have the tier 2, I don't have to bother doing the other dungeons, which means I can just go straight to doing the closes, or the EXP tanks. Probably the EXP tanks, actually. Because while enchantments are not necessarily that important at this point, because, well, I tried using the flamethrower earlier during that fight, and nothing bloody happened, so. Vacuum hopper. No. Well, the thing is, I have all of the Ender IO stuff, I just haven't built any of it. The only Ender IO thing I've built was the alloy furnace, but I haven't even used it yet. So it's basically just doing an entire thing with yeah, I think the vacuum hopper is IO. Oh, hello, spider. Are you hiding out in the boiler? Actually, no, why am I doing that? Actually, no, I don't think I have that, actually. Well, EXP vacuum. Well, the thing is that there is an Ender IO way of doing it. It's the... Yeah, no, not that. Where is it? Because if I use the... Where is it? No. Yeah, if I use the experience rod on a Ender IO, on a fluid Ender IO fluid tank, I can take or absorb the experience. So it's that I can right click on fluid tank containing XP to gain levels, shift right click to transfer levels to tank. So I can do that. But that, so basically I can use that plus a fluid tank. So where is it? It's one of the basic ones. Yeah, with the fluid tank to do that, and then I can combine it with the... It's a very distinctive look. With the enchanter, where I can basically just do custom enchantments to everything. I can put in set amount materials to get particular things. I can get every single thing, and it just increases the amount of levels I need to use, hence the XP tanks and the number of stuff I need to put in. Some of it is extremely high, like 64 blaze powder and stuff like that. But it means I can get maximum level, maximum thing pretty easily. So I can get respiration. Then there's... yeah, I can use the experience rod and I can get mending. So I can get mending and... oh yeah, I can get infinity as well. Get that. Actually, yeah, put infinity on my electric bow. Just thought. Infinity and multi-shot and flame. I can get that on my... well, I can get that on the electric bow, which is generally mostly kind of pointless to do that anyway. So... then even then, I can get soulbound, which means I can stop it being lost. So I can stick that on all of the important stuff. Stick it on my armor, stick it on my guns. So it's like, I died. I just walk up to him and shoot me in the face. Yeah. Decay, repellent, and all that. Some of these ones are like insight. I have no idea what that does. That came in from the mods, and I've no idea. I don't know what package from it is. Oh yeah, well, the way that you would get it with the regular IO stuff is that you would make a farm which would kill things in whatever fashion it would do before, and then you would use the XP vacuum, which would absorb the orbs, absorb the XP orbs, and then it would pipe it from there, because then the XP vacuum will pull in nearby orbs into connected tanks. So yeah, so that is basically the same as a hopper. So as long as you have a thing to kill it, you just stick that nearby and it absorbs it as you would, but sticks it in a tank. So that's basically the same principle. Same principle really. But it's I'm not really that interested in getting a... yeah. Well, the thing is, it might have been what the XP hopper used to be, and it might have just been the hopper. It might have just been an old version of IO. So could be that, or it just could be just it's a new item they got integrated in just for the sake of convenience, because everything else, because it did it anyway. Right. Let us travel to Technus. And the one thing I also didn't realize I had as a mod thing in it was the applied energetics, which is the whole digital storage unit. Which, as soon as I start doing that, that's when things is going to become broken as hell. Because then I can just set up the closest to connect to that and all of that. And then I basically have, for some things, infinite resources. And rather than in the stuff like the auto-assemblers, I can basically just have each machine pipe in a resource and then pipe out into the... pipe in via the computer and then pipe out into the computer and then pipe into another machine and just do that. So I can just turn the thing on and then just leave it. And so even the long-winded ones of having like wood, it's wood to charcoal to coal, wood to charcoal to carbon to coal to coke to dust to ingot. Even for that long-winded process of having to going through so many different machines to combine it, compress it across mod to mod, I can just use that and just pipe in and out, or just have a string of machines and then just relays, and just a line of relays. yeah, I didn't know. The thing is, I didn't know I even had applied energetics. So that's going to be one thing to get my head around at some point. Although at this point, I'm just trying to get my head around immersive engineering, because I'm going to add immersive engineering to the Abyssal Craft set. Mostly because it's got a revolver and it looks rather impressive doing that. Do I turn that off? Yeah. And it's rather impressive doing that. So do that, do that, do that. Make sure all that's fully charged. So does not entropy. Not even a full fucking charge. Munchity crunchity. Let's put all this stuff back. Just for safekeepings. And then, bam. No. Duh. 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 Bam. Tier 2! Right. So I am going to need a fair amount of junk, because the tier 2 is... That's tier 3. Tier 2 is a fair bit of a hog, because it needs to make a... How do I get that? Oh, okay, never mind. That's easier than I thought. Yeah, because one thing I want to do is make a lander, so I can make that. But also one thing I want to try, one thing I may try and do, just for the sake of seeing if I actually can, would be, where is it? Where the fuck is it? Yeah, it's to do just the tier 3 lander. Oh, no, it's its own separate thing. No. Cool. Although that might be tier 3 only. Is that? Oh, do I have to use it for tier 3? No, tier 3 is something else entirely. If I can stick... Actually, no, even then, I don't really need to worry about that, because it's just parachute, isn't it? It just parachutes, then cuts off later on. Hopefully. Anyway. I'll end up having the usual thing of leaving everything behind except and carrying everything just a teleporter unit, and that's it. That'd be one hell of a quick stream of basically just going, oh yes, we're going to fly the rocket. Launch, land, explode, die. So, okay, fine, that's it. This stream lasts 5 minutes. Why? Because I have to remake the teleporter unit. Right, so another nose cone. Well, I'm gonna need a tier 1, which I have spares because of the palaver of bloody last time. Because of the palaver of last time. More crates. That, which is just the lander, which is another module plus more plates and a seat. And do I need to have a thing for that? No, I don't. Good, thank balls. And that, and then more paper, and hardened paper, and all that. Heavy duty plate, which is the heavy duty plate tier 1 with meteoric iron. Hence the reason I was getting the meteoric iron, because I need to start doing that. I need to start getting quite a fair bit of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, never mind. I have like a stack and a bit, so turns out, never mind. I'm going to need more iron than anything else. I'm going to burn through my iron again, because each plate is 2. So it's 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20. So it's actually again less than I thought. I keep thinking, oh, it's going to be a big pile of resources. Turns out not. Then that. The what? What? What does this mean? Oh, steel plate and glass. Oh, more bronze. Actually, no, it's bronze. I don't care. It's copper and tin. Compressed coal and compressed aluminium. That is going to annoy because I don't have much aluminium. That's going to be an annoyance because I'm using most of my aluminium for wiring these days. So it's more meteoric iron. 4. Oh, bloody hell. Fuel canister, yellow wool, more plate, so more. Actually, no, just regular plate. Oxygen vents, all that twice over, plus with the rocket fins. Yeah, I might actually burn through quite a fair bit of resources. Well, that's going to be one thing to do for next time, because I have no intention of flying today, and I want to get other stuff done. That's also including getting some of the immersive craft stuff done. Mostly because if I can get the cloche working, then I can just shower myself in diamonds. Yes. So, for the cloche, I'm going to first need to make the vacuum tube thing. Right, so that's the crafting components. Copper, aluminium, and iron. So, copper, iron, aluminium, I'll add that to my bear. Alright, put that blueprint on the table so we can see what we need to get for it. 2 iron plate and 1 ingot. Steel, compressed steel, steel plate, yeah. So, right, I'm gonna need to make myself another compressor. I can't be asked to make another compressor. I'll just grab a bunch of stuff that I need. So, for that, nickel and copper wire. So I'm gonna need some nickel. Just grab all of it. Some nickel, some copper. I'll grab a bunch because I'm going to go through a lot of it. Some glass and some redstone. Glass, redstone. Yeah. That. Iron. I need some iron. And I'm going to need more glass, some treated planks, so I'm going to need to make some more treated planks. So, go here. Do that. That'll give us that. And that's... those. Other than glass are just... Oh, and that's that. So I don't actually really need to get that much. I think I might already actually have some copper wire as well. So... Well, it's not the science chest. Guess not then. Perhaps not. Yeah. Oh yeah, 'cause I put onto that thing, didn't I? Right, how do I make the wire? I'll just copper plate with the cutters. Do that. Right. Alright, I'm going to need some nickel plate. The brother of the band of... Wait. Venus Reservation Services. Yeah. It's a company called G4S. They're nobblers. They've been caught in many a controversy over the last while. So, yeah, if you want to look up the people who do a lot of the prisoner and probational services, it's a security company called G4S, aka Nobblers. This is that, and I need to take that. Surprisingly, I need to do those two things. It's that and that. To make that, then I have the glass and the nickel for the rare. I have everything for that. Iron plate, that's what I was needed to do. So let's do... Actually, why am I doing it that way? Because I'm going to have to spend 2 iron per thing when I can just use a hammer. Oh, I need to stick mending on this thing just for the sake of... It would make everything so much easier. Because I can just do mending. That's going to be one of the things I'm going to do, is all of these immersive engineering stuff, I'm going to put mending on that just to make things more expedient. Alright. It says glass, nickel, wire, redstone, glass, nickel, copper, redstone, gets me that. Then it's the iron mechanical component, which is just 2 iron and 1 copper, and gets me that. It will then get me that. Bam! We have ourselves this. And I've already piped electricity, because that is actually a potion slab, so this was already dug out. So rather conveniently, I can use this area as a area for piping. So power. Hopefully it connects. If not, I will be sad. And then water goes in this way. So probably one thing to actually see. Do these 2 mods interact? Does Galacticraft and Industrial Craft connect? Or at least do the pipings connect? Because if that does, I can use one mod to connect another mod into another mod. It totally does. It totally does. That... Mwah. That is brilliant. Fertilizer amount. I have no power though. where does power come in? I thought the power comes in via the top. Well, we'll just start plugging wires in and see what actually happens. Because if we can find out where the power socket is, then great. Because it might be a case of putting the thing in backwards. Is it this side? No. 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 Okay, so it is the top. It's just this is not the right wire. Or is it because it's a corner? Nope. So, what type of wiring do you use? I was thinking that what the bloody song was. So I started recognising it. So, I thought we connected it to thing. Or does it need to be copper? Hmm. Let's put you here instead, just in case. No. Why won't you connect to anything? Okay, so not that. Is it really just going to be that simple? Couldn't be. Because you always call that redstone signal. And if it's a case of just having like a... No, because it requires power. See, what power do you actually use? Because you got wires, but it's just these wire coils as well. Is this be a case of this? I don't one. If this ends up being the solution to it, then... I'm guessing that's too powerful. Alright, I grab a copper wire just so we can connect everything to it. Everything's low voltage anyway, so... No, okay. Wait, perhaps? No. Can I connect it to it anyway? No. Why won't you connect? Why purposely stunt it? No. I'm gonna have to bloody Google it, aren't I? It's See, I don't like the fact that every now and then I have to just Google things. Where is it? So for that. Energy conduit, draconic evolution, laser relay. Supposes mechanisms, universal cables. Right. Okay. So mechanism is then. Alright, okay, so I have to change all of this whole section of this string of wiring to mechanism. That's going to be a long bloody process. Actually, no, what am I doing? At least we can try out, make sure that it actually works. It's basically, when in doubt, just do mechanism, because mechanism is one of the older mods to such a degree where everything just connects to it. Logistical, mechanical pipe, fluids, gases, items, blocks, fluid, pressure. Where did I? Do I not have any of those? Hello again. Do I not have any of that? No, I don't. That's so I actually don't. Oh, okay. So I've got transport stuff, but not that. But does that mean old mods, the other old mods, Does that mean that works? Yeah. I'm currently in the process of the wiring. The regular industrial craft wiring didn't work. So, troubleshooting by seeing if I can get anything else to work. Well, that worked. Shame that it doesn't actually connect to Buildcraft. Well, one thing to do is to get the... wait, do I have... Oh no, I've already got steel. Never bloody mind then. Alright, so it's that plus redstone. I was concerned because I'd have to make... I was concerned because I thought I'd have to go over to make more steel. Turns out I don't. Okay. That's less of a concern than I previously thought. Well, no, well, the thing is, the Wikipedia has been... Depending on what mod pack you're using, because quite a few of the power differentials are interchangeable, or at least go through a divisionary thing. It's part of the reason why basically a lot of the mods interact with each other. I think the two that interact mostly everything is mechanism and... Really? Alright, fine. I'll have to use one as a conduit for the other. Because this block is actually Galacticraft. So, or not. Right, there's always going to be bloody something, isn't it? I got a power... I got blocks that can exchange thing. I can't remember what mod it was, but I got one that can do the divisions down. Can't remember which mod it was, because most of the time they said it was useless, but it's one of the things where it's for troubleshooting things like this. It's actually quite good to have. Where is it? Never mind, let's just try. Yeah. Come on with the keyboard. Ah, no. What is this? No. Ah, right, yeah. Oh, that's fucking useful. Oh, yeah, here's how you make the thing. You make it with the thing. So, that, for the most part, is... That is stupid. That, for the most part, is rather stupid. Right, okay. Troubleshooting it is, then. That being, I need to borrow something. Alright, let's just put those back. Yeah, I'll put that back where it is. Because the main reason I put this one... put this one here is because that is the ground. So, as a way to cover that up and secure it. Way to secure those? Yeah, the thing is, I've got loads of these different. I've got loads of these different converters. Ah, energy bridge. Okay, that's less difficult. I think I've already got a bunch of. Yeah, grab that. Put that back. Stash. Oh yeah, because that goes in the other thing. That is in there. I can get rid of the copper. Get rid of the nickel. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that. Ba 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 ba. So I need 4. Ba 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 ba. Is it because it's a 2x cable? Because if it's a case where it's... Because the 2x cable is one of the weirder ones. Because there's 1x, 2x, and the others. No, it just really just doesn't like this stuff. You can see the producer, the input, output. Yeah. I'll just stick that there just to get bloody rid of it. Because the other thing I was going to try and do, because one thing I know does work is that the stuff can get plugged into that, because that's how that is currently powered. So, actually, can I just make another one? So I can use that as the exchange. Use the mechanism power cube. Use the power storage as the exchange. One goes in, one goes out. So do that, because it doesn't really matter if I make one and it doesn't work. It's a power cube. I'll just stick it somewhere else. So steel, osmium, glass. I'm going to need some redstone, and I'm going to need some gold, and I'm going to need some tin. So I'm going to need the glass. I only need 1 stack of glass. Jesus, I only need a bit. And then I'm going to need some copper, some gold, and some iron, more iron. And I'm going to need some charcoal as well to make more steel. Right. Oh, did I get... Oh, I didn't. Let's get more redstone. Let's stick that in there, just get rid of it. Oh yeah, I've got that book as well. Stash that. Yeah, because a lot of the time there's usually a way to get through with some of the mods. So I know I'm going to need at least 4. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. So I know I'm going to need at least that. Power cube, redstone, redstone, gold with enriched alloy. I'm going to need to wait for that to finish now. To do that. But no. So, because that's going to require the 4, then I have the glass, and I have the osmium, then I can do that. Or someone was an idiot. Every single time you hear an anvil like that, a mob has fallen off somewhere and hurt themselves. It took me ages to work out what the bloody hell that was, because I had no idea what it was. Turns out, it's just mob... Oh. It's not tracking, is it? Well, somehow, one of the cubes became... cobble. Alright. I ain't gonna complain. That runs through again. Yeah, so it's that. I don't need that. Actually, I'm going to need 2, because I need 2 sets of powers. There's that. That I can get put through the smelter, and that gets worked. Yeah. Right, and I can just start going through now. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4. And I need 4 of those. I did get osmium, didn't I? I thought I picked up osmium. Come on, speed up. Well, at least get this closed system working. Because if I can get this closed system working, then I can just start making a row of them. Because I've already built it and troubleshot it. And then, actually, why am I doing that? I only need 1. Yeah, so I've already troubleshot it, so I can just start making more closes. Because I've already made 1 close. It's basically that process multiple times. Right, so we have everything. So that requires that. Bang. Also requires it again. Bang. That requires that. I am missing the steel because it's still in the furnace. So that requires that. Bang and a ba ba da ba ba ba. Done. Right, this should essentially act as a converter. Theoretically. Yep, there we go. So that should act as a converter. So, front side is input, and that side would be output. Should we have 2 sides with blocks on? Yep. And I can pipe the water in using Galacticraft. That connection looks sketchy as hell, but still, what works, works. We have power, we have electricidad. So all we need now is one of you. No, oh, it's seeds, not wheat. There you go. And I'm going to need 1 block of dirt. Bop. And then from there, it grows. Do I need to regularly put in more fertilizer or something? So for grows rows upon rows of closes, get unlimited resources quickly. Yeah, that's basically the aim, really, more than anything else. Especially considering each wheat, for plastics, I can get 1 per wheat. I can crush that down to 4 biomass, which then divides back down by half. So I get 2 substrate out of it, which gives me 2 orbs of plastics, and that's then the 8x8. So every 4 wheat gives me 1 block of plastic. So yeah, and then even then I could do the whole thing of crushing or merging those down, merging them and the seeds down. Puts basically the wheat in the seeds in an 8x8 to create to make bio, and then that gets compressed to bio clumps. Then that gets put around resin to make large clumps, and then that gets put around bone to make bio chunks, and then another 8x8. So it's basically an 8x8 by an 8x8 around resin, an 8x8 by an 8x8 around resin, around an 8x8 of bone, around an 8x8 of diamond. 4 diamond with coal, 4 diamond. So it's there. Everything is essentially renewable at some point. If that dirt disappears, I'm going to be rather annoyed, because then I'm going to have to set up an entire bloody system to refill the bloody thing. Because I can get dirt. It is possible for me to get dirt. It's just annoying. Because I get it with either with the infuser or macerating the plant ball stuff. Okay, that's less of a concern now. It's my brain had only just gone. It's like, yeah, it's it literally was like, oh, and the plant ball can make 8. Wait, hang on, because that is an 8x8 of seeds, and I can get 8 from it, which means I can get like 16. No, 8. I can get 8 seeds, 8 stacks. No, because it's an 8x8 to make the bioclamp, isn't it? So actually, is the 64, because it's 8x8, because it's 8 times. Yeah, so I can get 64 or 32, one or the other. Then that'll make a whole thing, and that'll make an entire stack to stick in. Never mind. Turns out, can I just put those back? No. Well, either way, I can just make a whole chunk of dirt to stick in. Because I could just go, whee! Bam. Then macerate. Done. Now the detritus gives me fuel. Oh, what? Okay, I'm going to have to make a bloody hopper to put in then. So we need iron. I've already got the iron, haven't I? Yeah, I've already got the iron. Iron. Don't come here, I don't care. That again, please. Ba-da-ba. But no, not you. Yep. Ba-ba-da. Da-da-da-da. I don't know, they might do. Oh no, turns out they don't. Never mind. Okay, that was entirely a waste of time. I thought it did because the fertilizer just ran all the way down. So I thought, oh, I guess that means it uses the dirt then, because otherwise that figure is entirely pointless. Because you could just have it as a decrease of speed rather than having it slow down and then go back to the beginning. Because if there's no loss of having to put in more stuff, there's no point. It's basically having the fertilizer amount decrease is entirely pointless because I don't have to put anything else in. So it's not using anything, it's just wasting time. But the thing is, I haven't put anything in. It's like, oh, fertilizer amount 0.7. I haven't put anything in. It's like, oh, but you're using fertilizer. It's like, what fertilizer? It's... It would make more sense if it just didn't do anything, and then it only did something when you put in fertilizer, because then that way it would be a lot more clearer. Because otherwise, that is because having it say that makes it seem like, oh yes, you have 5.8 fertilizer left. It's like, what fertilizer? It's if I don't put anything in, there's not much point of telling me there's fertilizer in it. No, Minecraft makes perfect sense. The mods don't. I complain a lot about the mods because half the mods don't make any bloody sense. The one I'll complain till my bitter end is bloody Mechanism, because that one is unintuitive as all feck at times. Scientifically, it makes sense, but unless you actually know like advanced levels of science, it is for the most part kind of just maddening. Yeah, I'll just stick the plate in there because the beer. Where's the other thing? No, I used it, didn't I? Here's the beer. Yes. Right. So I'll just let that run then. Although one thing I need to do is set up a shelf. I need to set up a shelf. And one thing, I'm running out of wood, so the best thing to do now is probably to make more. Oh yeah, the thing is, cloches are a thing. It's basically early hydroponics. Which is kind of funny because I can do hydroponics. Yeah, because I can actually do hydroponics. So, technically speaking, I could just make a whole bunch of cloches and then make an entire hydroponics lab. And then after that, through industrial craft, using the things. Is it industrial craft? I think it's this one. I think it's this one. Because I can do garden stuff. Yeah, I can do garden stuff with this as well with the crop sticks. Because I can use the crop sticks to actually put in the stuff there into... to make... It's weird because it's like, you can grow seeds on this thing. And if you have two seeds next to each other, they cross-pollinate and mutate. So I can get wheat seeds that make coffee and hops. So I can basically just cross-pollinate all this stuff to get blackthorn, tulips, and don't start breaking on me now. Hyacinths, daisies, amelias, rainbow flower, reeds, stickreed, coca, ferru, malachite. Okay. Stantium, red mushroom, potato, carrot, hop, coffee, glow shroom. If that works in space, great. Terrawort, netherwort, watery wheat. Okay. Red wheat, luminia, arginium, orella, brown mushroom, cacti, tea, hemp, beetroot, oak. Wait, so I can grow that as a... How does that... So I can just grow lots of wood. Actually, what the hell do I get out of that? Because it's like a one block thing. Unless it grows a tree. Yeah, the thing is, I would hope it would be bonsai trees, because otherwise that makes no fucking sense. Spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, dark oak. That one would actually be rather broken as shit, because you need, I think it's a 3x3 or you need a 2x2 plot with a lot of space to grow dark oaks, because you need to actually have enough dark oak saplings in a grouping to grow to actually grow into a dark oak into a dark oak tree. So being able to do it with one sapling would very much decrease the rarity of the thing. But yeah, because that whole industrial craft stuff was what all that was supposed to end up being at some point. But after a while, I couldn't be bothered, and I might end up moving it anywhere. But the plan that I have for other things, if I turn these on, not that one, that one, and that one. Yeah, so currently this is how everything is. We have Dandelion House, mostly because all the dandelions were here when the first spawn, so I just call it Dandelion House just because. We have the Daedal Science Station. The botanical lab is going to go over there-ish. Basically, I'm going to move that there. I'm going to have more area. I'm also going to put a big power station there because there's water wheels because I can make water wheels in immersive engineering which generate power, and I can stack 3 of them and put a kinetic generator to the next of them which generates energy, which I think in the multiplication down would produce the same energy as the giant solar panels. But the plan that I have is to basically make a giant building where I can put in a whole bunch of turbines for the water wheels, put in some solar panels on the roof, basically make solar panels the roof. And are you going to shoot at me? Yeah, and all that. So basically have one building that generates an utter ton of power, and then through the industrial wire system, and probably a bit of mechanism now, considering industrial may be a bit weird, is adjust the ampage and the voltages to transfer them around to the whole site. And so everything will have a power relay on the buildings, like a power transformer, basically on each part of the building that connects to their relevant power systems. So basically this one can actually go all the way up to medium volt, because of all of this is medium volt, so that can go straight in. Same as over there, that can get to medium volt because of the Galacticraft. The Bartic slab will probably stay on low voltage for the sake of ease. And over here, I want to get the comms site, which is basically the radio transmitters and stuff, because in Galacticraft I could make communication dishes and things like that, and I could put up a whole iron structure like I did in the main world to start communicating with the home world again, and headquarters of the Omniverse all over again. And also I want to make that the place where I start curing villagers. So, because I keep finding villagers and they're wearing like doctors' uniforms or engineers' uniforms and stuff like that. So that should be fun. Yes. Right, so we did manage to actually complete a few tasks. Managed to get the stage 2 rocket, which is what I wanted to do. Which is one thing I wanted to do. I'm probably going to stick a shelf on this, just so it can stack out slightly better. I think one thing I might do as well is if I can do like toggleable switches or something like that to make that slightly easier. Because I know Galacticraft can do that, and I know Galacticraft have got a toggleable switch. So I can basically stick that there and turn it on and off at ease or something. Or basically put that there and wire it there, so that's a straight line rather than a corner. Either way, something along that kind of lines. Yeah. So we've done that. At least 2 things have been ticked off the list of to-dos. I have to try and think of something slightly more major to do tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be the time for the big stream. So that's probably going to be the time to actually work out for something bigger to do. A lot of that is just going to be making yet another teleporter and going to Mars. Not entirely sure. Not entirely sure of how to go to, or the one thing I'm going to need to put before I go to Mars as well. I'm going to have to make a spacesuit for the radiation again, because one of the updates that happened when we first started streaming Galacticraft stuff was the fact that they changed the radiation thing. Because if you remember, radiation ended up being a big problem on the moon, but the way that they solved that was they removed radiation from the moon, so you can't get affected by radiation on the moon. But from Tier 2 onwards, from Mars onwards, you get affected by radiation, as well as the environmental damage you get from stuff like Venus and Mercury and things. So I have to make a spacesuit now as well. That's going to be a whole palaver. Although I don't think... Oh yeah, spacesuit helmet. Even then... Oh no, I can't. I can't do that because I need dash, and that's Mars. Right. Okay. Well, hopefully the radiation on Mars isn't that bad, because otherwise it will just start incinerating me, which is would be fun. I should put in the fucking hazmat suit, see what happens. And fire, let's just swim in live with so it doesn't actually poison. Right. So that's that. So that's two things done. Yeah. The NRIO stuff is probably going to be one to do. I'll probably make more closes. Actually, while we're actually just testing things out, I'll grab one of those and I'll grab one of those. Do these work in the cloche? My guess is no. But if they do, fantastic. Do these work in the cloche? No. No. Alright. Okay. So they don't work in the cloche then. Alright, so it's just seeds. So I can grow a bunch of other stuff. Right, okay, yes, that's going to be that for the time being. I'll make a couple more closes for the various plants. That being... that being carrot and potato. And that's probably it. Because not what else... I can grow wheat. No, not wheat. Sugarcane. Maybe that would be an option. Fuck knows what else though. Yeah. Then we could try and work out what to do afterwards. I think one of the next steps to do is to well, one thing I need to do is to start understanding all this industrial craft stuff, and that might be something I have to save till next week because I have to read up and write down a whole bunch. Because I was right, immersive engineering, all the stuff like arc and stuff like that, all of it is multi-block building. The entire thing is based on multi-block building. So that is going to be an entire clusterfuck, and it's going to take a lot of stuff to remember. Yeah, I know. It's basically I can just grow everything, anything that comes in seed form. I was just kind of hoping I could put saplings in there as well, and that would solve a whole lot of things, but can't, because if I could do that, I'll just put the cloche over here and pipe it straight in, so I can make infinite charcoal. Yeah, infinite charcoal. Make the charcoal, crush it down. Blah 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 blah. Ammunition for a railgun. That's probably gonna be something to do as well. Although tomorrow would be because it's gonna be one of the long streams. Most of it will be set up to go to Mars. Probably not to actually go to Mars because that would be madness. Because, well, might do. We'll soon see anyway. Either way, we'll get to a point where we'll work out what the bloody hell to do next after that. Yeah. Yeah, so that's going to be that for now. Should be streaming tomorrow as well. see what kind of stuff we can actually get done in that. Could stream longer, but also a case of what can we actually do? So, yeah, that's that for now, and I shall see everyone later.